Test, test, 1, 2. 1, 2, test, test. You know, I say test, test, even though I don't know if it's working until after I'm done recording the video. Anyway, hey guys, welcome to my channel, Jake Anthony and Beyond. I'm your host, Jake Anthony, and I went beyond. So, I did it. I did ayahuasca. There is so much to say. Let me just get comfy here. So, yeah, I partook in a ceremony, ayahuasca ceremony, called Santo Daime. And it's their version of the ayahuasca ceremony that they align with the most, I guess. It comes from Brazil, I believe. And it's a ceremony that aligns with Mother Mary consciousness, but it is nothing like Catholicism. Most of the people there weren't really religious. The shaman there, he's more of an omnist. He takes value from all religions, but he does align with this ceremony and the Mother Mary consciousness. And to them, Mother Mary is kind of the symbol for Mother Ayahuasca or Mother Earth, the divine feminine, which I didn't know that that was a thing. I thought Mother Mary was only interpreted as a person. So I'm learning a lot, you know. But let me just get to when I took the ayahuasca brew. I'll have to go over like what the Santo Daime ceremony means in another video. So I take the first cup, small little cup. I don't feel anything for about 2.5 hours, and I'm nervous. My heart's beating a little fast because I don't know what to expect. So it was like that for like 2.5 hours. By the way, there's musicians playing the whole time. The whole time. And singing. They're singing hymns. They're so beautiful. I love them so much. I'm probably gonna find myself listening to them like just regularly, like once a week. I could see myself like just reminiscing on with these hymns playing in the background, you know. So I take the second one. It starts kicking in. I start feeling. It is similar to mushrooms, slightly. That feeling in my head, but there's a huge difference, and that's this unexplainable feeling of love that you perceive, especially when there's about 40 people who are singing hymns in front of you, playing instruments, smiling. And these hymns, they were in Portuguese. I didn't understand a single word, but I felt the love just radiating from everyone, from the sound. The sound alone went into my body. It healed me mentally, physically. That's all I can say about that part for now. But I'm gonna struggle to find my words. So the first weird thing that happened was I was actually playing the hand drum like half the time, which was amazing because remember I talked about drum circles and how amazing they are? Well, I played a hand drum during an ayahuasca ceremony for like half the time. There's that, I can't describe it again, feeling. When I hit the drums, the sound, the vibration just feeds my soul. every time I hit it. That's all I can't, that's it. Yeah, so the weird thing that happened was while I was playing this drum, I was closing my eyes and I was in a meditative state while playing the drum. And I was, humming along with the hymns as best as I could. And I felt this force hit my right hand to hit the drum harder. And it was like an electric shock. It felt like that. And when it happened, I got immediately jumped out of that meditative state that I was in, and I started laughing really hard and smiling really big. And because I knew immediately that it was some type of spirit telling me to play louder or wanting to play with me. Like, that's what was going on in my mind. If there are fifth dimensional beings that we communicate with during the ayahuasca experience, and this is one of those beings trying to communicate with me, then it was either telling me to play my music louder, be more confident with my music, or he just wanted to play with me. And that tells me that I'm doing the right thing by playing music with love. So, yeah, that's that one. That's that segment. The next one is during the halftime break. We did like a halftime break. And this is actually probably the peak of the trip, the ceremony, rather. I don't even want to use the word trip. Like, it doesn't feel right. Like shrooms, LSD, I feel like I'd use the word trip. But this, I don't know. Trip just doesn't, I don't know. It doesn't have this ceremony is just so sacred. This medicine is just so sacred to me that trip just doesn't do it for me, I guess. I can't find the word. Yeah, so during the halftime break, something told me to go into the forest and lay down. So I did that. It was really, really dark. Everyone else was gathered around the house, just talking to each other and hanging out by the fire. And I'm like, I want to go in the darkness. So I did. I laid down and I started talking to myself about intentions, forgiving myself, and love, and like loving myself. And some weird stuff started to happen. Oh my God, this is probably the highlight of the whole ceremony. And actually, I have a video recording of the whole thing. You can just hear the audio because it's dark, but I put the phone on my chest and you can hear me talk throughout the whole thing. I don't know if I'll post it because you'll hear why here in a sec. It's just very, it's part of my personal path. So first thing that happened was I started talking to my younger self. Little kid Jake. Hey, buddy. I wasn't punching him. I was like doing the little cheek thing at the chin. People do that. Like, you little cute little. Okay. Anyway, I was telling him, you're gonna be just fine. You're gonna feel so happy. You're gonna feel so much love, and when you feel lost, and when you feel like you're gonna give up, remember that there's always love to go back to. Love is always there, always. You can be a part of it. You can be a piece of it, and in that moment, ayahuasca taught me about love. It taught me what love meant, really. And what love means, according to my experience now, to me, is to allow yourself to be a conduit of love. Like a light bulb. And the love is the electricity. And you have to be the right shape. You have to be the right receiver. And you have to give off the right amount, a balanced amount of light. You have to give back. So I'm going to connect this to when I went back to the ceremony. I was playing the hand drum again. And I had hopefully you can hear me. I'll put this mic down. I had my left hand open, right? Actually, no, I was not playing the hand drum. I was playing the drum on my stomach. I was like healing my gut, my condition here, with sound, with rhythm. So I had my left hand open. I was receiving sound in my left hand, right? I was receiving all the love from everyone, all the goodness, and it went into me. And I was healing my gut and myself and my mind and my body, just everything with this sound and this love. And so that was me receiving. That was me receiving, and then that was me using, right? Healing. And I was singing. I was humming along to the hymns. So that was me giving back. That was me releasing, right? Expressing. So here I am. I'm being like this machine of love and sound and vibration and meditation and flow state, just all in one. It was absolutely amazing. And I learned this kind of when I was back in the forest laying down, about being a conduit of love, right? So if you receive too much from people, you're not going to be able to give. So you're not able to be a conduit of love. You're not able to be a part of love. If you give too much, but you don't receive, if you don't allow yourself to receive love, you're not going to be a conduit of love. You're not going to be a part of love. And this is when mental health shit will arise. This is when diseases will manifest. I would know. So you have to receive and give and allow, when you receive it, to heal you, to allow yourself to be a part of it. Express yourself. Get into the flow state. That's like the connection. As soon as the electricity of love meets the light bulb of you, is the healing, is the flow state, is the expression, is the gratitude. And then you have to release. You have to give off that light. You have to let yourself glow. You have to give back. And this isn't just for you. Love is a universal force. I'm so convinced that it is. So imagine it as like electricity. Imagine yourself as a conduit. Or don't imagine, because honestly, I'm so on board with being a conduit. It's reality for me. now. So, yeah, don't give too much. Don't receive too much. Be a conduit. That's what Mother Ayahuasca taught me. The next thing that happened when I was laying down in the dark, this is also the highlight of the trip, of the ceremony. Okay, how do I? Yeah. So after talking to my younger self, I actually started talking about intentions and forgiving myself. And then someone appeared. Someone who loves me, who I never thought of, really. And that was my grandfather. My dad's dad. His name is George. And it had been so long since I thought about him. And I didn't even think of ancestors during this whole time. So it wasn't even like fresh in my mind. I was laying down and I see him look down at me. So I see his face upside down and he's glowing and he's smiling so big and he's just pouring out love to me. He's telepathically telling me that he loves me so, so much. And by the way, right before he showed up, I feel a woman to my left with a crowd of people behind her, and another woman to my right with another crowd of people behind her. So I feel like these were all of my ancestors. I don't know if my grandfather had any sisters or not, but I even heard them walking in the leaves. It may have been a chicken, I don't know, but I did see my grandfather's face. He was smiling so much. And he was telling me to get up and go back to the ceremony. And he actually came out of a tree behind me. And the next morning, after he said to go back to the ceremony, after I got up, I was walking through this like tunnel of trees, like over the side, over the pathway. And on both sides, as I was walking back to the ceremony, on both sides of me, I felt a bunch of people clapping for me. And I felt like they were very, very proud of me. And I was crying during this whole thing. I was like, just so much joy, just so much love. I can't describe how much love there was. There's so much I couldn't help but cry. It's all I could do. I remember looking up at the stars and just saying, God, there's so much love. There's too much love. And I'm just crying. And it's not sadness either. It's just joy. It's just it's actually gratitude. Like, have you ever been so thankful for something you cry? It's like that, but times 10. And then add your ancestors to it, like, who are also proud of you and love you and are telling you they love you. Oh my God, it's just so powerful. But the next morning, I had actually went back to the spot where I saw my grandfather. And I saw that the tree that he came out of and went back into, actually, he went back into the roots, into the ground when he disappeared. It was actually a dead branch leaning up against a tree. And this was so symbolic for that death is not the end. I think he did that on purpose to make me realize that this is a very This is a message saying that death isn't the end, and everything that is perceived in the human realm, the human perception, is birth and death. And that everything that exists is alive. This branch was still alive. That's what I got from that experience. And that death is just a hiding spot for humans. It's just a hiding spot from human eyes, human brains. Because this is just a version of reality that we're perceiving. So one end of the spectrum is birth, and the other end is death. That's the spectrum of which we perceive. That's the spectrum of reality we perceive. So birth and death of everything, like the laptop here, the camera I'm looking at, these are alive because they exist in my perception. They're alive technically because they're within birth and death of whatever that thing is. It's not gone. It's not out of my perception, so it's not dead. So there is so much truth to this medicine. There's so much truth to shamanism and how they see plants having spirits, because they're close. They're not a camera. They're not a chair. They're plants, and they have cells that do things, right? So they're a little more similar to human bodies versus a shoe or a camera or a phone. They're more alive in the egoic sense, in the ego perceiving sense. Hope I'm making sense. That's why the majority of humans call plants alive. So anyway, so death just hides you from the human consciousness shell that we're in. Next thing is, oh my God. Okay, so here's another mind-blowing thing that happened. Okay, right before my grandfather showed up, actually before halftime break, there was an instance where a being showed up, and it showed up right above the center of everyone. We were kind of in a circle. The shaman Abuelo was sitting at this table with 3 or 4 musicians, and this being showed up right above it to my right. And I instantly got a message from this being saying that it was my ancestor, that it was one of my greatest grandfathers. And it was like a diamond shape, like a square turned sideways a little bit, with one big eye. Not a human eye. It was like made of something else, but I knew it was an eye. And its arms, it had like 10 arms on each side, and they weren't attached to his body, and they could change color and move like tentacles. They were like stretchy. It was so bizarre. And the colors, I remember the colors, he was purple, blue, and yellow. And then that was it. I was like, wow, okay, that was weird. Okay, my greatest grandfather, weird. This isn't human, okay? I was thinking about it afterward. I'm like, that was not human. I guess my ancestors go way far, way beyond before humans existed. Makes sense, right? Because consciousness that's how reincarnation would work with consciousness. Yeah, so we are not the first beings in this universe. We're not the only ones to exist. This being was also, I felt this message from it that it was a creator. It's not a creator, but it was something else. It had an important role in the universe. I couldn't pin it down, but let's just say creator for now. Yeah. Yeah, so my greatest grandfather is this squared thing with 20 arms and one eye. I actually drew it. Yeah, let me show you. It's right here. I want to perfect it one day, but that's it. Yeah, it was a lot more detailed than that. But that's the best I could do for now. Yeah, insane. So the next thing, after the halftime break, after all that stuff that happened, life-changing things, I started playing the drum again and was just relishing in the joy and love that was radiating from all directions. And I was also grabbing the sound and just putting it in my body. I was grabbing it and just over and over again. And like, I think the only one doing these weird things. Everyone else was like staring, they had their eyes closed, they were either looking at me, except the one guy next to me, he was also moving a lot, really flowy. Anyway, I think because everyone else there was maybe more structured in the ceremony because they've done the Santo Daime ceremony a couple times before. So, I was grabbing the music, the sound, and putting it in my body, and just like it was just scoops of ice cream. I had just stacking it. I was stacking the scoops of sound ice cream. And it was delicious for my body and my soul. What else happened? I wrote everything down. I did not want to forget a thing. So that's why I'm looking at my computer. Oh yeah, I saw Shiva. It was for a split second as well. He was above everyone. Have you seen that show, What If? The Marvel's show called What If? Where you can see the Watcher in that show. He's called the Watcher. Sometimes he's like made of space. He's like made of the absence of that realm that you're in. That was Shiva. Shiva was like made of space. He was like, which made so much sense because Shiva represents, many things, but in this case, the unseen, what lies beyond the perceived. Yeah, so that was really cool. It was really quick. He was huge too. He like took up like most of my vision, my span of vision here. And by the way, we had a roof over our head. We were like outside, but still under the port. So I wasn't looking at stars. It was just a ceiling. So that, if that says anything about the power of ayahuasca. The next thing, and the last thing, I drank water during the ceremony. And I immediately got this, the water was telling me, like I'm getting messages from this water telling me that it's a divine feminine spirit. And I felt a divine feminine spirit. And I was drinking this spirit. Like it was, I can't find the words, but it was extremely healing. Extremely, extremely healing. the whole experience was. Yeah, water to them is, or according to Abuelo, is the divine feminine. Represents one symbol of it. And also, fun fact, the veil of Earth, where space meets the atmosphere, is also the divine feminine, which, by the way, they were smoking Santa Maria the whole ceremony. They called their cannabis Santa Maria. And when I took a hit, when they passed it to me, I only took like 2 during the whole ceremony. But the second one was like closer to the peak of the trip. And when I took a hit, it actually sobered me up. It actually took me out of the trip, of the mental space that I was in. And it put me in the physical. And I only felt the emotions the rest of the ceremony. So yeah, I drank the spirit of ayahuasca. I saw my grandfather. I learned about love. I learned how to be a part of love. I forgave myself by talking to my younger self. Oh my God, I totally forgot. Totally forgot. When I talked to my younger self, okay, I remembered a dream I had when I was a kid. This is gonna blow your mind. When I was a kid, I had a dream. I saw an older version of myself walking. I was in the church. I was sitting in the aisle. And I saw an older version of me walk up to me, stop and look at me and smile. Big old smile from an older version of Jake. He had facial hair and everything. Okay, so I think the night of the ceremony, that was me. That was present day Jake. During the ceremony, I was traveling through time, through the astral realm, to a younger version of Jake in his dream. So that's a astral realm, an astral time travel paradox. I think that's all that happened. I'm sure there's something else I left out, but those are the highlights. If you're curious about doing ayahuasca, do some research, listen to stories on YouTube. And fear is a fart, so don't listen to it. If the medicine is calling you, listen to it. If it's not, hey, don't sweat it. But that still doesn't mean it won't show you what you need to see if you do it anyway. It'll still show you what you need to see, whether it's calling to you or not. But if it's not calling to you, hey, no, don't sweat it. So that's my experience, for my ayahuasca ceremony experience. I only did one ceremony. I thought I was going to do a couple, which I think I will do a couple more. I don't know when. I'm trying to not plan things right now in my life. I think the thing that's stuck out to me the most is my grandfather, meeting my grandfather and my ancestors. It was so emotional for me seeing him, and because I kind of had forgotten. He actually died when my dad was a kid. So I never met him. Yeah, so I never met him, but I did meet him that night. And I'm so, so grateful that he came to me and said that he loves me. I wonder why he told me to get up and go back to the ceremony. Like, why? I wanted to spend time with him. Like, when I was getting up, I was like, oh man, why are you leaving? Why are you going back into the tree, into the roots, into the ground? Which was bizarre on its own. Spirits maybe living in Earth still. Maybe there's this system of purgatory within the roots of Earth. Kind of like Avatar. You know, see the movie Avatar, the blue people? How their goddess actually lives within the plants and the plant system. Maybe it's similar. Anyway, I'll end the video here. My name is Jake. Thanks for watching. Jake Anthony and Beyond. Give this video a like, comment, ask me questions, do your thing, share it. You don't have to share it, but just give it a like. It'll help me out. I want to actually really grow this channel. I really want to spread the love, spread the light, spread the laughs, and have fun while doing it. So, peace, love be with you, peace be with you. I'll see you on the other side. See you. Be a conduit. Be a conduit of love.